Here's chapter 34 of Catastrophe, entitled The Next Morning. Kate was so relieved that it had all been a bad dream, and she was glad to be back in her bed in reality. She was so tired from the lack of sleep that she poured herself a large cup of strong coffee. She needed energy to face the day. Snowy looked up at her with sympathetic eyes, and Kate knelt down to stroke her. "I love you, Snowy," she said, and Snowy purred delightedly, as if in agreement. "We're going to do something special today," said Kate, looking at Snowy mischievously. It was a Saturday, and they had all of the day to them to enjoy. What Snowy didn't know was that Katy had realized that she must be lonely. After all, Katy had her parents and friends around her, and poor Snowy was on her own. "I think it's time we can change that," thought Katy, with determination. Meanwhile, Snowy had run out of patience waiting for her kitty cat, and she quickly bounded onto the table and helped herself to a piece of Tom's toast. He was stood in the hallway in his dressing gown, and he didn't look too pleased. "I wanted that toast," he said indignantly, and he sat at the kitchen table with a scowl on his face. "All that cat ever does is cause mischief," he said, as he cradled his cup of coffee for safety. "Oh, leave that poor cat alone," said Mary. "She's certainly brightened up the house," she said passionately. "Brightened more like blighted," said Tom, as he put more toast in the toaster, with one eye on Snowy. But for once he had a smile on his face. Snowy was even working her magic on him. Soon it was time to go out, and Katy was excited with what she had in store for Snowy. Snowy looked posh in a glittering collar. "That cat thinks she's a film star," said Tom, and Snowy meowed loudly. It was her way of agreeing with him. For unknown to him or anyone else for that matter, she could understand every word he said. Coming up, chapter 35, Snowy Finds Love.